With reaction, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Boy, they really don't like you, Senator. I view it as a badge of honor, but I think when all's said and done, you have an opponent that, like Kamala Harris, is hiding, has voted with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, I think 98 or 99% of the time, and they're dumping probably in the end what will be the equivalent of $200 million in negative ads on your head. And meanwhile, you have been in the forefront of trying to protect the people in Texas with this open border insanity, which I give you all the credit in the world for.
Well, Sean, you're exactly right. The hard left is coming after me, and they're coming after me hard. My opponent, Colin Allred, is a radical left-wing congressman. He's voted with Nancy Pelosi his first 4 years in the House. He voted with Pelosi 100% of the time. He's voted for open borders repeatedly. He's voted to abolish the police and defund the police. He's voted against ICE. He's voted against deporting illegal aliens who violently assault police officers. He's voted for higher taxes, more spending. He's voted against oil and gas and jobs in Texas. And yet, money is flooding into the race. I am being outspent dramatically. He's been on TV for 3 months straight. I just went on TV 2 weeks ago. And you could see why. If you look at the DNC convention, when he spoke at the DNC convention, at the end of his remarks, the entire stadium spontaneously began chanting, "Beat Ted Cruz." I was the only elected official who got that particular honor. I got to tell you, Sean, I feel pretty proud of that because the people trying to destroy America, they're pissed off that I'm standing in their way, but they're flooding cash in my race. Liz Cheney, who is out campaigning for Kamala Harris, is campaigning for my opponent, too, and the money is flowing in. So I need your listeners to go to tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org. Go and make a contribution of $25 or $50 or $100 or maybe even more. But go to tedcruz.org right now because Chuck Schumer is explicit. I'm his #1 target in the country, and Schumer and Soros and Liz Cheney, they are coming after me because they want to take out their opposition in the Senate, and they want to have open borders. They want to continue the destruction of our country.
All right, where are we now with the state of the race from your vantage point? Not just your race, the presidential race. One of the things that frustrates me, and that's why, as a public service, the media won't do their job, so I'll do their job for them. I put on my website, Hannity.com, and on all my social media, and it's all for free, what I call the Kamala files, and I have the Walls files, and I have them in their own words expressing all the radicalism that I outlined in my monologue that I'm not sure most Americans know about yet. And I think if they did know about how extreme she was on, free health care, housing, education, amnesty, and sex change operations for illegal immigrants and decriminalizing it, no fracking, no drilling, defund, dismantle the police. I think if they knew about her sponsorship of the $93 trillion Green New Deal, Medicare, government health care for all, including illegal immigrants and no private health insurance, I don't think there's a chance in hell anyone would vote for her or the guy that you're running against.
Yeah. Look, you're highlighting Kamala's record is incredibly important. Sean, there's a basic dynamic in national political contests, which is conservatives win when we effectively articulate what we believe, because our ideas work, and this country's fundamentally a center-right country. Liberals win when they effectively obfuscate what they believe, when they hide what they believe. So Kamala Harris, I've served with Kamala for years in the Senate. She's been a hard left vote over and over and over again. She's always opposed the wall. She's voted against the wall every time. She's right now spending millions of dollars running ads, TV ads, with images of Trump's border wall. My opponent, Colin Allred, same thing. He voted against the wall not once, not twice, 3 times. He calls the border wall that racist border wall, and he pledged to personally tear down, quote, that racist border wall. Right now, my opponent, Colin Allred, is running TV ads, millions of dollars, with him in front of what he calls that racist border wall. It is dishonest, but they know their agenda is unpopular. They know open borders are unpopular. They know undermining law enforcement and defunding the police is unpopular. They know Colin Allred voted to allow boys to compete against girls in sports and boys to go in girls' bathrooms and boys to go in girls' locker rooms. They know that Texans and most Americans don't support that radical agenda, so they do everything they can to hide it. And it's why, when you're a Republican, the fundraising is so important, because the corporate media, Sean, you're telling the truth, but if you shift over to CNN or ABC or NBC or CBS, they don't talk about Kamala's record. They talk about CNN. Jake Tapper said, well, Kamala's gotten a lot more conservative on the border. No, she hasn't. She supports open borders. She is the border czar right now. And that means if you're a conservative, you've got to raise money to communicate the actual records. That's why it's so important to go to tedcruz.org, because without those resources, Texans won't know my record and they won't know Colin Allred's record. And by the way, that's exactly what Trump needs to do, is communicate the great successes when he was president versus the incredible failures under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.